If somebody is asking you to present your novel and unique ideas, first thing that should come to your mind is, how am I protected? What is the time when we should think about filing a patent? You just cannot come up with an invention just like that. Spotting of novelty is something that needs to be done very thoroughly. India follows first to file system. Okay. So whosoever files the patent first gets the priority date. From that date onwards, your clock starts ticking. Not every innovation needs to be an invention, and for not every innovation you have to file a patent. Oh, I have filed a patent, so nobody can touch me. Come on, what if tomorrow somebody copies your logo and brand name? There are trademarks, then there are industrial designs, then there are copyrights. Why we are having this monopoly with the help of IP laws is we want to monetize it later on. So it's not just identifying the novelty and identifying the problem and solving it genuinely and filing patents. It also has got to do with the commercialization aspect of it. The moment you feel this works as inventors, that is the point when you should go and file a patent. Collaboration is the key, not the competition. So if you have certain skill sets and you want to, shape them up and then polish it a little bit, you naturally have to collaborate with someone who is having smarter goals than what you have, right? So that's where I found the beauty, and these are some, general principles when it comes to creating something. Yes. Collaborations and identifying somebody's niche and the core competency is the leadership quality in its own sense. So yeah, that felt wonderful to interact, understand the perspectives from students, the fresh perspectives, the fresh ideas that they have got. And what appealed to me the most is that they owned the problems. Yes. Right? It's not just, because there's some project that they have to sign and submit and do all of those things and presentations. They had actually put in their efforts, and it was visible.
Yeah, because they all work together as a team. They learned all these skills of team building. Correct. And doing all this from the scratch. Yeah. Because even when you get to know about this thing, it was like just 1 week or 4 to 5 days ago, they got to know that they have to do a project and they have to submit. Yes. Oh, great. And it's wonderful that many students came up with this. They did not say, we don't have an idea, we cannot do. Correct. They came up with very beautiful ideas. Correct. And we love that you also liked all those ideas.
Of course, yes. So there were quite a few that felt interesting from the ideation point of view. There were quite a few which were interesting from the IP point of view, and couple of them were had very little to do with the idea and the IP, but then the business model was like absolutely beautiful, and it could they could scale it up to multifolds. So, I mean, when we scrutinize ideas, you don't really need to put into a thought into if this is going to be a wonderful idea or a disruptive idea or no. Everything boils down to the commercial viability. And if that wins, you can probably build these certain other aspects with respect to the team building and the IP and the technology part of it a little later, which might not be required at that moment in time. Right now, if any of you who are wanting to start their businesses, and if you feel like you can scale it in, let's say, 1.5 years time, you should just plunge into it. I mean, there's no waiting. You should not wait for the tech to get developed, and at least have some lower version of your greater idea and put that out in the market for testing. That's the crucial step.
To start with something is very important.
Yeah.
You should not
wait for to get everything developed and then you will go out. That doesn't work nowadays.
This also reminded me of this thing when people or students who are working for a particular project for competitions that we have, biothon, hackathons, and iGEM global level competitions which happens. So they have to work and they have to build something which is innovative, which is different. But how scared they should be about their plan getting exposed to the world, and what all things they have to think, we should manage all these things, how we are exposing our idea to the whole society, but we should also save it. No one should चोरी नहीं होना चाहिए आइडिया, ऐसा कहा जाता है, बिकॉज वो एक डर रहता ही है सब में कि हम पूरा रिवील कर सकते हैं कि नहीं करेंगे वैसे. हाउ डू वी टैकल दिस पॉइंट?
See, the theft is going to happen. Okay, let's be clear about it. What we can do is take proactive measures as to we are not responsible for encouraging the theft. Okay, or we are not making it open for everybody just like that to come and copy what we have said, what we have presented, or what we have developed, which could be a prototype also, which is like just lying there in front of the people who are learned people. They are not somebody who is any Tom, Dick and Harry coming to the conference, right? They have come there, as I earlier told, they have come to look into the commercial potential of the idea that you are presenting. So it is bound to get copied, okay? And nothing in this entire whole world is new, okay? Everything is there. It's just that, you tap into something which is attractive commercially, and which is you just modify it, okay? And that's what innovation is all about, okay? You need to identify from your surroundings like what and all can be done with this type of a product, okay? And then you implement your innovation on top of it. So there is no solid way of saying that I will do innovation on the basis of these many things, okay? There's no one size fits all kind of a strategy here. Coming back to the theft part of it, what you can do as a student who is wanting to present your project in a competition, open innovation platforms, is that make sure that it is somewhat reduced to practice, and then file at least a provisional patent application on that idea or the core of the innovation, okay?
Like before the competition, even if it is not related or mentioned in the rules or regulations, on our own we should do it.
You should do it.
Okay.
So that's the tricky part, right?
Yeah.
If it is not mentioned, right now as students, you should think beyond and read between the lines, right? If somebody is asking you to present your novel and unique ideas, first thing that should come to your mind is how am I if I am disclosing it to somebody, okay? That's where your real thoughts on the IP should start, okay? And if you are like 70 to 80% confident that this could be reduced to practice, that is the sole point at which you should, regardless of any other factor coming in and affecting your decision, you should go ahead and file a patent application.
Yeah, like during the whole process, at the point we know 80 to 90%, we are sure that this will be marketed, this can be commercialized.
Correct.
That time we should at least go for filing an IP.
Yes, or if I want to put it the other way, if you are disclosing it to anybody and you yourself are confident that yes, indeed my innovation that I've done, whether it's an invention or it's a design or it's a newly designed kind of a logo of your product, all of that comprises of IP. So it's not just the technology that they have developed. So I'll give you an example. Typically iGEM and there is open innovation competitions, they'll ask you to create some diagnostics kits and diagnostic assays. Let's say a couple of your team members are having core competency into developing the assays, okay? But you don't have skill sets to design a kit and then develop it, okay? In that sense, what you should protect provisionally by filing a provisional application is the assay part of it.
Okay.
We don't know the chemistry at present because we are doing a kind of an overview of what is going to be developed, but then the IP should be filed on the assay that is going to be there in the diagnostic kit.
Like whatever we are aware of.
Exactly.
Right now, we can trustfully say that yes, we know the whole formula or something about
the composition or the reagents that are going to
we
come
are confident about this thing. Then we should file only for
that
thing.
That. Okay. And you should collaborate for further innovations on top of what is going to happen.
But then अगर collaborations हम कर रहे हैं, we are opting for people, other teams or a good person who is like experienced in that particular thing, how do we handle this collaboration part? Because it speaks a lot of things, right?
Yeah. So the first thing is that you have to define certain terms of collaboration. Like if we are going to collaborate, how will this project go from point A to point B? It should not be stuck there, right?
Yeah. So what all clauses can be there? Like this.
So it could be the whosoever you are collaborating with, you need to check for their skill sets. If they are good at publishing whatever is going to be discussed throughout the entire collaboration, if they are able to market it well to the investors and probably bring in funding, or are they going to open up some marketing and distribution channels for you, or are they going to land you certain deals which ideally would not have got it, right? So all of these factors contribute a lot for the success of the idea. I mean, or else it is quite evident from the historical data of competitions like this that those ideas are just there. I mean, they don't see the day of the light. So our effort should be on commercializing it by collaborating smartly with even smarter people, right? So if I don't know about, let's say, I don't know about how do you make podcasts, okay? I cannot spend hours and hours learning how a podcast is created, what kind of setup is required. I just hire smart people.
Yes.
I tell them that, this is what I have in my mind and I want to get it executed somehow. Okay, that's the reason why this whole thing works out well. Coming to that part, because you asked about collaborations, there is a specific requisite law of variety. Okay, you can call it as law of requisite variety. Okay?
Requisite variety. Okay.
So requisite means whatever is essential.
Yeah.
Okay, variety means there are different types of people, resources, or devices, or stuff that you will require in order to execute a given project. Okay, what does the law of requisite variety talks about is that you need different sets of people with different skill sets for a particular project to make it scale, simply put. And this is evident everywhere. You go to a restaurant, okay, you will find a team who is executing everything, but they are doing it in coordination.
Yes.
They are not doing it. Chef is not making his own food, just keep on making the dishes that are there on the menu card. He makes it only when there is a requirement. The requirement is communicated to him by the waiter. That information is fed to him by you as a customer. And how it is fed, because it's there on the menu card.
Yes.
Okay. If it is not there, you'll not be able to tell that I want this, I want that, I want something else, right? To go with whatever you are having.
We have to have the connection and the coordination between each point.
Correct.
One person cannot do everything.
Correct, exactly. So that's law of requisite variety. So you need people from different backgrounds, from different skill sets in a given corporation or a startup or a company or whatever it is. I mean, even if it's a big corporation, there are departments in a given corporation. It's for the very reason, because they need people from different backgrounds. And when you do this, you're essentially doing engineered collisions. Okay, there are collisions. Sometimes you will just stumble upon people who have a similar vision and similar mindset with you.
Happens.
But will that happen very often? No, right? So you have to do some sort of engineered collisions, and that's the reason why hackathons are being conducted, and it's a very good kind of a model in order to generate a lot of new ideas and a lot of intellectual property. Okay, so when I say requisite variety of people coming together, give you an example of the restaurant. You take any example of a given company. You take any collaborative project like a podcast like this. You just now introduced me to the team. They have their specific tasks at their hand. Okay, if they are not there, completely halt. Right? So that's the law of requisite variety, and that's the reason why this is getting executed so nicely. Right? So everybody follows it. It's just that we follow it unconsciously. The moment somebody tells you about it, you will now start looking at the law of requisite variety in every aspect of your life.
Once we
even
learn
like
it, we can.
For us to for humans to for us to bring up, our parents have done the same thing. They have exposed us to the schools, they have exposed us to the colleges, they have exposed us to the outer world, not just limiting our presence in
we just
inside
don't
the four
realize
walls.
it that this
you
is
just
how
don't
it is
realize
going.
But then what I will urge to the students specifically is that they have to really look into these aspects, because this is something that will take them far ahead in the future, because future is like very much dependent on collaborations. So even now when we are running our own businesses, we tend to collaborate on the skill sets of the other people that are there, and that's how you grow as businesses. Or else it's just one man army, and then the same person is doing everything. That doesn't work.
Definitely.
So collaborations are important when it comes to building a nice quality project with a stronger IP creation and protection. So hackathons aim should be the collaborations.
Yeah.
Hackathon's aim should be that you are able to discuss your ideas with proper protection with somebody else, so that the theft and copying will not
You can
happen.
avoid that.
You can avoid that part.
Speaking in the same context, for example, if we're talking technical terms, let's say there is a particular team which is working on a global threat. Nowadays, when we are talking about youngsters, some global threats include lots of things are there.
Correct.
Among that, one is drug abuse and usage of drugs and all among the youngsters.
Yeah.
So if we are speaking in that thing, opioids is one thing that has
Right.
been used by youngsters a lot, and people are working in that manner. So if one team is working on like making a rapid detection kit
Right.
for that is development done for the detection of this particular opioids in the body of these youngsters.
Okay.
And let's say they are in the stage of process before the marketing. So what particular things in this context IP will play the role? Like what are things they have to be looked for?
There are so many things. I mean, when it comes to diagnostics, I tell you, diagnostics is the sole market. I mean, that's going to boom like anything. Okay?
Yeah.
Regardless of what detection you are doing. If it's you're analyzing something in the blood, in the sweat, in the urine, any analyte that you want to detect, which relates to the overall health of the individual, it's going to be the future. Okay.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you're doing it invasively, non-invasively, with some wearable device or so. It's like diagnostics is the key, because nowadays you must have found out that people are becoming more and more aware about the health.
Yes.
More and more aware about the impact of certain type of foods on their health. They are like wanting to change their food preferences. They are wanting to bring in some drastic changes in the lifestyle that they are having, because we have understood from the historical data. So it all revolves around the historical data. We have understood that no, these are some things which are going to really hamper my health. This is what I need to bring about change in my lifestyle, and only then I'll be living a happy and healthier life for longest of the time. Coming to the detection part of it, when you say that there is some team which has developed opioid detection kind of a kit, okay, the first thing, as I told you, they have to make sure that what is the core of their innovation. Okay, from where did they get inspiration as to
do this?
Why opioid detection? Okay, yeah. I mean, drug abuse and everything else is there, but then one needs to identify what is that gives them a competitive edge. Either it could be in the innovation that they have done or the technology component that they have introduced. Okay, they have to identify the core of innovation. On top of that, they need to file at least 2-3 patents.
Okay.
During the process, yes. Okay. And as I told you, they have to find out the core of innovation and then protect it. And when I say this, you need to identify who all are involved in this process. Yeah. So like the conceptualization, the team members that are there, who should own the IP, because ownership of the IP is also very crucial. Yeah. Okay. Yes. In lot many cases, because ownership clauses are not very clearly mentioned, many a time people tend to lose on the ownership aspect of the patent. Okay, it's like, I'll give an analogy. It's like owning a house. Okay, if you own a house or if you own a land parcel, you are in a control of saying whether should I sell it, whether should I rent it out, or should I build a huge building and then sell it out. Whatever, either of the options you will have the right to say. Okay, typically what we call as Satbaras out there, right? So whosoever has a name on that will be able to say that I will sell it, I will mortgage it or whatever. Same goes with the patent application. So in the patent application, there are 2 categories primarily. One is an applicant and other are inventors. Inventors, even though they are not very well defined in the Patent Act, but then somebody who has conceptualized and reduced it to practice and worked on the invention is somebody who is an inventor. Yeah. Okay. Applicant, whereas, could be both. They can be inventors also who are the applicants, who are owning the patent in its real sense, or In the cases of the companies, it could be the company who is the applicant because they want to own the IP, because at the end of the day, it's an intangible asset.
But they are not the one who are actually working on it. They
That's
have
okay.
employees who are working.
But employees are getting paid by the company to do that task. Okay, so you can call it as work for hire.
Yeah, and
right?
that will be mentioned in that terminologies that we have.
So but then when it comes to any organization wanting to own IP, it has to be laid down in the contracts that whatever IP is going to get generated throughout the employment of that particular individual or the tenure of the employment of that individual here in this organization will be owned by the company. So it has to be a prominent clause in your employment contract. Okay, same goes with any other institution that is developing so many ideas and then so many patentable
but
ideas.
If only we are talking about students who are doing this out of a college.
So that's what. So ownership, as I said, needs to be very much clear, because later on, you will go ahead with it right now. Okay, later on, you never know if you grow big. Okay.
Yes.
Then there are you are getting noticed, right?
Yes.
As it is, you are getting noticed when you are filing patents, and n number of patents for that matter, right? So you are getting noticed. Hey, this guy, this girl, filing patents in a particular given domain. Because when we scout for patents and inventors, by the way, patents is a very good tool for finding out whom you should hire.
Okay, and how?
So let's say if I'm working on a new project which involves nanotechnology.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to see in India and abroad who all are the inventors who are working on nanotechnology, and then I'll probably by application I will narrow down my search. So let's say if I want to work on nanotechnology for skin rejuvenation. Okay, I'm wanting to have some formulation which has nanotechnology as the base, and then there are multiple applications. So if I narrow down it by the country or the region in which I am staying, you can do that all kinds of search in the patent databases. Okay.
All research.
The more number of patents as the name of the inventor is found in so many number of patents. Let's say we'll take a hypothetical name. Let's say we take Ramesh Patil. Okay.
Yes.
So I find that this guy is developing so many nano formulations, has number of patents, and he is the inventor in so many patents. Okay, that's the guy I should catch. As I told you earlier, if you want to execute something, you need to hire smarter people than you, right?
Yes.
Maybe your core expertise is into business development and marketing. Okay, or your expertise is into getting the good deals so that the company grows. You are into smarter collaborations. But then you are not good at developing formulations. Okay, so you need to find out somebody who is, right? So a patent search, enables me to find out the next best employee in my company as well. And that's what happens in bigger corporations. That's what happens. So if somebody, let's say, has worked on, very cool algorithms for development of the AI. So these companies will scout those people. They will find out who has filed most number of patents, who is listed as inventor in those many patents, and then they will approach them.
Yeah. But talking from the perspective of a student, right? So how does what kind of problems will a student face in filing a patent as compared to a normal person who is working, already has funding and all, but student will not have that all backup with him, right? Him or her. So what will be the process? What problems might be there?
There are multiple platforms on which the students can enroll themselves, get to know about the procedural aspect of things, but with a condition. Okay.
What?
They don't have to be in the process. If they get into the process by themselves, I'll sit and draft the patent application. I will do the patent search. I will see at what stage of the prosecution my patent is. उनका focus वहाँ से divert होने वाला है. As a student, your task was and always will be, unless you want to get into the field of IP and then make a career out of it, if your task is to develop innovative technologies and then work on further development and refinement of those technologies, your task ends there. The next part needs to be handled by a professional at any given moment. Because I have seen, and we have received a lot of such applications which were earlier drafted by students, and now they are stuck at a very critical juncture of the prosecution.
Because it was not drafted.
It was not drafted well, so there were quite a lot of queries in the examination report, and because there is a typical timeline in which a patent application goes through.
Like, what is that timeline?
So the first is filing of the application. That is very crucial. India follows first to file system.
Okay.
So whosoever files the patent first gets the priority date. Okay. From that date onwards, your clock starts ticking.
Then
so you have
the
to
time limit.
The time limits, yeah.
Okay.
So first filing happens within 12 months of time. You have to file a complete specification. The first one that we filed, as I told you, is a provisional application.
Yeah.
Okay. Within 12 months of time, you have to file something called as a complete specification with the claims, with all the embodiments of your invention, with all the possible arrangements of the invention, and how will you enable it. Okay. So ideally, it has to be in those 12 months of time boiled down to the working prototype.
Yeah.
So that you can justify whatever experiments that you have conducted till now, and out of those, how many are working actually.
Okay.
So the 12 months of time is given for that specific purpose. Now, why I insist on filing a provisional, okay, is because it at least protects the core of the innovation and the ideas. Like it cannot be a fully functional kind, worked down and dumbed down kind of a version in the provisional specification itself. And that's the reason why I said that when you have got a fair amount of idea as to will this work or no, that is the point, because I get this asked a lot. What is the time when we should think about filing a patent?
Yeah.
Okay. In the entire process. So my typical answer, and it has proven right for multiple occasions, that the moment you feel this works as inventors, that is the point when you should go and file a patent application.
Even if the idea is not curated
even if it is not. So for that reason only these 12 months are given to you. You can do it later on, right? And for drafting and filing, you should keep it for the professional to do it. Right?
Even if I'm an individual person and I'm just sitting in my room and I got an idea that this is something I can do.
Yeah.
I don't have a team with me. I don't know how I'll proceed.
That's okay.
But within at least 1 week, I have the ideation. Correct. I should go for patenting.
And with the tools that you have right now, like you have Google patents, you have got AI, and you have got multiple other patent databases such as WIPO's. WIPO is basically World Intellectual Property Organization. Okay. So they have their own patent database.
But that will be
these are free. These are free. These are global patents. There are companies who have specifically developed paid databases as well.
Okay.
Their Indian Patent Office has got their own patent database where you can go and search the patents in your domain, the ideas that you are working on. But having said all of that, as I told you, you don't have to be owning that task. You have to take help from a professional who is well versed with that kind of projects.
Yeah. So you talked about free patentable websites, and there are also paid ones.
Yeah.
How does this differ?
So free databases are Google Patents, World Intellectual Properties Patent Scope database. Then there is eSpaceNet, which is sponsored by European Patent Office. So these are some of the free databases that you can, Google Patents for that matter.
Okay.
These are some free databases. Paid databases have their own structure of the database. Okay, so you have to input the queries as per the database demands you to do it. Here, a normal plain simple search will fetch you a little relevant databases, and of course it's a there are multiple lot of features you can claim. You can compare it with the features and the claims and the drawings and everything put together. Vis-a-vis your invention, those features are there in the paid database. So that's why it's paid. So you have to.
So which one will you prefer if you are actually inventing something big? So, but you don't have the funding and anything. You're just a student.
I am going to stick to the free databases because with little bit of tweaking here and there, it does the same job as that of the paid databases.
And
so
the safety is
it's there. It's always there. It's always there. So safety only occurs whatever you search on internet. Till now we have not seen that it has been considered as a public document. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's safe only.
Safe only. So we'll just take a short break and we'll
Sure.
have a segment,
Sure.
which is the fun segment of our whole
All right.
podcast. You'll definitely enjoy it, and we'll
Right.
have on the host Rui for that purpose.
Perfect.
Rapid fire is our fan favorite. Everyone loves it.
Okay.
So it's basically, I'll ask you
I
a few
hope you're
questions.
not going to put me on spot.
No.
Okay.
It's going to be very fun, very chill.
Great.
Don't worry about it. So I'll ask you a few questions, and I just need your instinctive answers, whatever you think, whatever
Alright.
comes to your mind first.
Bring it on.
Okay, so let's begin.
Yeah.
If not law and IP, what career would you have chosen?
Chef.
Okay, that's cool. Law books or a Netflix binge?
Netflix binge, which includes law.
Oh, that's cool. So, suits.
Yeah.
Skill you secretly wish you had?
Painting.
Chai or coffee?
When it's raining, chai. Otherwise, coffee.
Okay. Who has been your inspiration in life?
Oh, my parents.
Okay. Movies or books?
Tricky question. So I prefer movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And follow up to that, if you had to make a movie or write a book, what would it be about?
So there is already a movie that is made, which is Flash of Genius.
Okay.
It revolves all around, inventions and IP
Amazing.
and all of those. So, but something similar, yes.
If you had to patent a historical invention in your name, what would it be?
It would be, I would say, it would be fire, I guess.
Oh,
How to make the fire.
Very
yeah.
cool. Yeah. Since you also have your very own podcast, who's your dream guest?
I wish he would be around, but there were two people whom I would want.
Mhm.
One is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and then Ratan Tata, of course.
If you had the opportunity to swap lives with anyone for a day, who would it be?
I mean, my dream job, I would definitely want to swap my life with a chef who is working
perfect.
in a hotel or restaurant. Yeah.
What are the 3 best things or highlights about being an IP professional?
One, you are constantly surrounded by innovative ideas.
Right.
Second, we get to work on different technologies at one go. In a day, we have prominent technical discussions. That's the best part. And the third thing is that we are, the people who are making sure that the innovations are getting protected and commercialized, and they are seeing the day of the light. So yes.
Yeah,
these 3
amazing.
things.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. What's the weirdest patent you've ever come across?
There are a lot many. So if I have to name one, it could be so there is a patent which is for collecting as the dog is walking, you can collect the excreta of the So it's
Understood. Right.
random patent.
Yeah. And for a last question, if you could give one advice to young healthcare innovators or health tech innovators of India, what would it be?
So if you are really working on something which relates to healthcare innovation, you need to, as I'm on the go, I'm saying that, core of the innovation, identify it, protect it with the right means that are available to you, and make sure that the innovation that you've come up with is seen by the people in their hands, or they are able to use it. So it need not just sit at the creation part of it. It has to be protected and then brought in the market as well.
Right. Okay, so that's about it.
Yeah, all right.
So, and you also talked about movies and all. So I see you always had your interest in law and but in your life you started with biotech as your bachelor's.
Right.
How did law came in the picture?
So after I finished my graduation in biotechnology, I was kind of done with the lab part of it. Did not really wanted to sit and do the lab work, the wet lab work. Okay. So there was some other stuff that excited me more, which was the business part of the biotech. Okay. And I wanted to know how a typical biotech firm, because back then there were very few biotech firms. Right now there is a plethora of them because of the technological developments that are happening. So back then I thought let's look at the business side of biotech, and if you have to do it, then you have to look at some courses which will train you to manage the biotech based businesses. That's how I stumbled upon MBA in biotech management.
Okay.
And I pursued that. In that MBA program, okay, in the second year, we had a subject called intellectual property rights.
Oh.
That caught my attention. So you're kind of destined to reach to and by the way, I had failed in my law exam during my MBA years. Okay, so I still remember my professor calling me outside of the class and then asking me, Ashutosh, what's happening? I mean, you're a good student, and then why are you writing some stuff which is not gaining you marks? I said, I mean, I was clueless at that point of time. Law, I had a different interest in law from a different perspective. Not as a career option, but then I just wanted to learn law for the sake of, for my own knowledge upgradation. Okay. But everywhere you see law, if you have the knowledge of the law, you need to implement it, to make money, right?
Yeah.
Back then, I did not had this option with me, or I had not given it a thought, frankly speaking. But later on, when I was stumbled upon subject called IPR, there are instincts, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of tend to like those subjects, and then you try to dig in more and then find out what it's all about. So I started digging, and the professor who used to teach us IP during our MBA days, she someday sent me a position that was vacant in one of the organizations, saying that this is something which is of your interest, is what I feel, and you have interest in IP, because I constantly used to ask questions around patents, trademarks, copyright, designs, what's the difference, how companies are going to get benefited if they are really seriously protecting their IP and all of that. So she said that it's better that you get a on-job training somewhere, and then you will gain a lot of knowledge and experience also, and you will be able to decide basically whether this is the thing that you want to do or not. So that's how my interest out of so this is also business side of it. So IP, back then I understood it as a strategic tool for all the businesses spread across the industries to grow and scale. And the moment I realized that there is a huge opportunity, because there are very few patent professionals back then, there were very few. Nowadays you can find a lot of them. So I found opportunities in the business of IP as well, as a career option also, and it's a skill set that is very much appreciated. There is a point in my life where I would interact with a lot of PhDs at one go, and you have to be top of everything, because you're speaking with a scientist who is having 10, 15, 20 years of experience in the field, and then you are sitting across the table and telling them how their work is not novel. Because you have done the patent search. They are asking you critical inputs as to what should be right in the patent application, and then you're throwing.
And they don't have the knowledge.
They don't have that. They do know, they have the knowledge of their own domain and technology, but then they are unaware of what kind of patents are already filed, which makes their invention obsolete or kind of non-novel.
And they cannot put the time in researching all that, then obviously.
So yeah, but I enjoyed that process, telling them how they should come out of this particular citations, as we call it. That there are patents and non-patent literatures that are there sitting in the public domain, and their work is exactly similar to what is there disclosed earlier to when they came up with an idea. So it's an interesting and complicated task at the same time, but you have to be convincing that if there is a way out, still can that particular scientist file a patent, or can that company founder will be able to file a patent on something which is there. So coming back to the part where how the attraction, so I still have genuine interest in pursuing law. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an advocate, but then this very part of the law which specifically relates to IP laws interests me more than broader law as a subject.
If we are talking about IP, we talked about patents, and there are trademarks,
Yeah.
copyrights. So if you want to explain what are these things to someone who doesn't know anything about it, because there will be many audience who doesn't know anything about IP and
Correct.
all, and now we know how important it is.
Right.
So how can you explain it in a layman language, like very
Okay.
basic language?
Yeah. So that's an interesting question, and then that is the first and foremost thing which is lacking is awareness about
Yes.
all of these things. I'll tell you one very interesting story. You all know about Velcro,
Yeah.
right? You use it on a daily basis. You have it on your bag flaps and your floaters and everywhere. You find Velcro everywhere, basically, right?
Yes.
It's a fastening mechanism, correct? It connects two things together, right? But do you know the story of how Velcro was invented?
No, we would
Right.
love to listen.
Okay, so it so happened that there was a electrical engineer, by
Okay.
profession. His name was George de Mestral. Okay, he had taken his dog for a hike in some mountains. I don't know the country which he belonged to, but then he had taken his dog for a hiking, and when he came back, he found those cockleber seeds entangled in the dog's fur.
Which seeds?
There are those spiked
Yeah.
seeds that are there. You can find it anywhere on the streets, especially
It gets
in
attached
the
to your clothes and all.
clothes
that.
and all
Okay.
everything. Yeah. So he's found out that those seeds these are called cockleber seeds.
Okay.
Those are getting entangled in the dog's fur, and he was curious. Being an engineer, I firmly believe that engineers are meant to solve problems of the world. So being an engineer, he found out and he got curious about how these seeds are getting entangled in the dog fur, and I am unable to remove it somehow. Okay, so he carefully plucked all those, put together, and then studied the morphology of the thorns that are there. Okay, and that's how we found out that it's an interesting design found in nature. Okay, so there is one thing that you can absolutely say, that spotting of novelty is something that needs to be done very thoroughly. Okay,
Yes.
you just cannot come up with an invention just like that. Like people use AI and all, but then that essentially puts a burden on the legal system. There is already a case going on where an AI has been listed as an inventor in a patent application. Okay, it's called the famous Dabus patent. If you might want to search, you can search. It's called DABUS. Dabus is the name of the inventor is Dabus. Okay?
And that's an AI.
That's an AI. Okay. Now the questions were that how can an artificial intelligence or a robot be listed as an inventor in a patent application? So there are disputes going on. Okay. Some countries have allowed. South Africa was the first country to allow the grant of the patent wherein an AI or a robot was listed as an inventor. Okay, so there are multiple things going on. Coming back to this story, spotting of the novelty. This guy, George de Mestral, who was an electrical engineer by profession, just get that clear. He studied all those patterns. How does the entanglement is happening? He designed many other alternatives of so now this is called hook and loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
The patents that he filed were by the name of hoop and loop arrangement.
Okay.
Hook and loop. Okay. So he went ahead, filed patents. So see, this has happened maybe in somewhere in 1850s. And, so back then he was well aware of that. I have to file a patent on it, right? He made sure that he filed patents, and now today you see where Velcro has gone.
Yes.
Right. So it's not just identifying the novelty and identifying the problem and solving it genuinely and filing patents. It also has got to do with the commercialization aspect of it. Okay, so cut the story short, if you want to really make somebody, a layman, understand what IP is, patents is a part of IP. Okay, so IP is a broader set. Intellectual property rights. Okay. Only when you file something, it becomes a right. Till that point, it's just intellectual property. It's in your head, right?
Yeah.
It's just that I will make a water bottle which looks this way. It will have a handle. It will have this color, this kind of a cap, and everything else. That's in your head. You have not brought it down on a piece of paper.
Hmm.
Till that point, it's IP. The moment you say that I want to file a patent on the material from which I will make the bottle,
Hmm.
that's a patentable subject matter. So you're
Okay.
working on material. Okay, so there's this bottle kept here,
Hmm.
right? The material with which with this bottle is made, and the kind of treatment that this material has to be done to get this shape and all of that,
Okay.
that's something which is a patent.
Hmm.
Okay, maybe the closure of the bottle, how it is happening, it is airtight, or it is not allowing the spillage.
Even that can be
That
patentable.
is a patentable subject matter. So
that
the
is
grooves that you
innovation.
see over here, okay, if you have designed a new set of grooves
Okay.
or some different arrangement of the grooves that are there, it has to be complementary to the threads that are going inside, right? So if you have an arrangement of threads which locks the bottle, in fact there are some Japanese companies who are manufacturing self-closing lead,
Yeah.
right?
I've
So
seen
it just
that.
put it and then it closes on its own.
itself. Yeah.
That's a patented invention.
Hmm.
Okay, so now once we have seen this, okay, the patentable subject matter is this, the arrangement of the threads. Okay, now you are thinking that, oh, the design of the bottle is very interesting. Okay, that's also IP.
Okay.
That's an industrial design. Typically, said in a broad sense a design patent, but then India doesn't follow design patent terminology. India follows industrial design. Design patent is there in US. Okay. But
What's the difference like?
There's no difference. In India, it's called industrial design. In
Okay.
US, it's called design patent.
It's just the name that is different.
That is different.
Okay.
The purpose of filing the design and patent, there is a difference. Okay, when you say something as a patent application, it captures the functionality of the device. Okay, right? So let's say tomorrow if I want to make this bottle an insulated bottle, okay, I'll have to work on the material to be put on as a layer, or the bottle itself is made out of that material. So this is technical in nature, right? So patents are filed for the inventions, and there is a specific definition of an invention. With something which is new, is non-obvious and has got utility, is something which is invention. Okay, and for that only you can file a patent. So please mind this, that not every innovation needs to be an invention, and for not every innovation you have to file a patent. So there is a difference between innovation and invention also.
The thin difference.
There's a thin difference, but then it gets clarified once you protect it with the right tools. Okay, so like I said, I want to create this bottle, but I want to make it insulated kind of a thing, because I don't want that liquid to cool down or warm up. Insulation basically. So that's a patentable subject matter. Okay. Coming to the design part of it, the way this bottle is designed, the way this hook is attached here, there is an opening here, and then the hook is coming out. There's a bottle cap, there's a bottle. Okay, the way this bottle looks is an industrial design application. So the designs will protect the look and feel of the article or the device, whereas the patent will claim the functionality of the bottle.
Aspect.
So that's different. Okay. Now, very common mistake that people do, and especially in the academics, is that because industrial design का timeline थोड़ा compressed है, कम है. You get the design certificate maybe in 6 to 8 months of time. They tend to file something which is patentable as a design application. Okay?
They don't realize
and they don't realize that they have essentially lost the novelty of the patent.
Okay, so once you file that patentable वाला जो thing है उस invention में,
it's gone, no?
Yeah, it's gone once you file it in the wrong way.
Because it's going to be in the public domain.
Yeah.
So any IP that you file comes in the public domain by way of publication.
But it's protected. It's
open. It's open because you have just put out the design. Okay, so imagine when you are designing a diagnostic kit. Okay, and then you put out the design of the kit, like the actual strip, let's say, out in the public domain by filing a design application.
Okay.
Till that point you're okay, because the assay is with you. You have filed a patent on the assay. Okay. Similarly here, there are two things we are talking about. There is a patent and a design. Okay. But if the design is getting inspiration from the functional aspect of the patent, okay, like it is contributing.
Yeah.
You have designed it later once while you figured out the functionality. So let's say, take example of this mic.
Yeah.
Okay, all the circuitry that are there inside the mic, the color combinations that are up running here on the mic. Okay, there is a particular design you see. Okay,
Yes.
only then you will see the colors. No,
Yeah.
if I put it this small mic, you will not be able to see any colors, but you want that colors to be shown, hence you improved the length of the mic,
Yeah.
right? So these are the technical things that someone must understand. Okay, and there is a difference between patents and designs.
Yeah.
Okay, third thing is the logo part of it. The name and the logo that you design for your company are the first and foremost IP that you should file.
Okay.
Okay, a trademark. What is a trademark? It's simply the logo. It's the name of the company. It's the color combinations that you have used in the logo. It's the artistic manner in which the logo is created.
Even that
So
is
now you
trademark.
see it's a trademark. You see any product now, okay, you should be able to see prominently these 3 IPs that are integrated in the product.
Okay.
So it's an integrated protection. It's not only that, oh, I have filed a patent, so nobody can touch me. Come on, what if tomorrow somebody copies your logo and brand name? What will you do then? Okay. I have filed a patent and trademark. Good. But what about the design?
Now that
Right?
also
Now
comes.
that also has to be protected. And on top of that, there are copyrights.
Yeah, copyrights is also a
So
part.
copyrights are something which gives you protection for the artistic work or the literary work or the creative work that you have created. Let's say you manufactured this bottle. Now you want to sell it. Okay. For selling, you are doing all your advertisements through all possible channels. You are entering into print media also. You are on social media also. You are on, let's say, radio and everywhere else. You are on TV also, right? So you have made a jingle of that bottle. You have designs of the social media pages that you have designed for publication or publicizing the bottle. All of that is a copyrightable subject matter because it is a literary work, it is an artistic work. There is musical works that are also protectable under copyrights. This very podcast which we are having, is a copyright of Adaptiv.
Yeah.
Right? So whenever you see a product, if I have to again explain it to a layman, whenever you see a product, you see a trademark on the product. That's their brand identity, right? You see the color combinations, right? If I tell you Mazda, what kind of a color comes to your mind?
Orange.
Right? So the logo is also designed. If I tell Airtel, what kind of colors?
Red.
Red. Okay. If I tell you Idea or VI for that fact.
Yeah. So also
Right.
red now, but it was yellow.
And if I ask you to create a social media template for a healthcare company, what color combination would you choose?
Green. First.
Green,
Yeah.
blue, and all of those. So there is some color combination play also that needs to be done when it comes to creating a brand or designing a logo. Okay. And if you remember the law of requisite variety,
Yes.
right? Everybody who is involved in this process, right from your person who is going to design the logo, person who is going to handle your social media, person who is responsible for sales and marketing, person who is responsible for the promotion of the product, this product or any other product for that fact, needs to be made aware what is the core of your idea.
Okay.
Right?
They cannot be unaware
It
of this.
can no, absolutely no. Unless this is there, the product might not scale. So right now, if you ask me about IP, it's one of the smaller subset of your entire business or your entire project. More of it lies in the execution, right? So you are taking appropriate measures if you want to move ahead. Like I have taken the regulatory approvals, I have taken IP protections, I have secured some sort of funding through government grants. Now it's time to execute. So when you execute, naturally there are going to be competitions and people are going to copy you and things like that. So you have made your first layer of defense ready with the IP protection. So we have seen patents as a broader part of IP. Then there are trademarks. Then there are industrial designs. Then there are copyrights. There are integrated circuit layouts as well, which are permeable for protection. So there are called IC layout designs.
So what is that?
So IC layout is basically whatever is there as an IC layout inside of this mic or any other electronics chip. Okay. So the PC design of the PCB. All
So
of that
internal parts.
internal parts. Yeah. So circuitry basically.
Okay.
That's an integrated circuit layout. Okay. Then there are geographical indications. So I'll just tell you the names and you'll get it what I'm meaning to say. From where the strawberries comes from?
Kashmir side or anywhere. Mahabaleshwar also.
The very famous case of chappal,
Kolhapur.
comes from Kolhapur, right? If I ask you what is famous at Solapur?
Solapur?
The
Oranges.
no the blanket that is there.
Oh yeah.
Right? What is famous in Pune?
Yeah.
It's the pagdi, right? It's the pagdi. So okay, let me give another example. Nagpur is famous for what? The oranges.
Yeah, oranges.
So these all products are nothing but geographical indications. So there is a specific link between these products and their place of origin. Only when you grow an orange in the soil of in that region, you will get the quality of that orange.
Yes.
If you take the seed and then grow it in, let's say, Mahabaleshwar, you won't get it. Right?
Like
so
growing apples in South India is not.
It's not going to work out.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
all the environmental conditions are not very conducive for the growth of that particular fruit or even the properties of that fruit.
Just like we don't see coconut in Kashmir,
Exactly.
trees, we don't see apples.
Correct.
Yes.
So there is a specific link between the product and its geographical place of origin. That's geographical indication. Okay. So there are Kokon Hapus.
Yeah.
And there are multiple others. There is a specific website Indian government has for geographical indications. So you can see all the listed geographical indications. There are many. Okay, you won't believe, but there are many. So broadly speaking, there are patents, there are trademarks, there are copyrights, there are industrial designs, there are integrated circuit layouts, there are geographical indications, and there is also something called as plant variety protection. Okay, so if somebody invents a new variety of a plant, making some plant tissue culture techniques, grafting and all of those, if they invent a new breed, I think there is one famous farmer in Vidarbha only. He has somewhat 20 to 23 varieties of rice he has made.
Okay.
And
all those are new.
Okay.
So,
and he has protected it under this Plant Protection and Farmer Rights Act.
Okay.
So, in a nutshell, if I have to say, you don't have to protect all of these IPs. The IPs are very much selective of what kind of business you are running. Right? So, for McDonald's, there is no patent.
They don't have
any patent. Because they only work on the brand value. Those golden arches that you see for McDonald's, even for KFC. One interesting IP that I left out on talking is trade secret. It's a very interesting IP. Okay,
so you can tell.
So trade secret is basically, as the name goes, it's a secret. But it gives you a critical financial benefit in the market. It has that value. Like when you keep something secret, okay, and it still has value.
Okay.
And that's the reason why it's called trade secret. So I'll give you an example again. Coca-Cola, everybody knows Coca-Cola,
yes,
right? So the Coca-Cola is a well-kept trade secret for so many years. Nobody knows what goes what's the formulation of Coca-Cola. Same goes with Listerine. Okay, Listerine ka formula nobody knows, and they have kept it as a trade secret because they don't want to divulge it. If they divulge it in the form of a patent, if it's very much easy to reverse engineer, chances are that somebody will crack the formula and then sell it also. So they kept it as a trade secret, and it's a well protected kind of a trade secret. Only few employees would know what it is. So KFC is one example. So the recipe of the KFC masala, that's a well kept trade secret. There is one interesting trade secret which we use on a daily basis.
So you can give me some hints, maybe.
I mean, we have made it synonym for internet search.
The internet search synonym. It's kind of a search engine.
Yeah.
then use. Okay, Google itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Google, when you type in something in Google and when you hit the search button, the way Google gives you the most prominent and closest and relevant search results is something which is a trade secret. They don't know. Nobody knows how the algorithm
Nobody
works.
knows how their algorithm for search engine works.
No.
Oh.
So that's a well kept
That's
trade
interesting
secret.
actually.
Yeah.
There are lots.
Yeah.
Lot
So
of
there are so
interesting
many things, okay,
Yeah.
as a trade secret. But then, as I told you, the nature of your business defines what kind of IP you need to protect.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say if you are into electric vehicles, okay, there cannot be any geographical indication in electric vehicles or even plant varieties. There's no need. Okay, it may happen that you may have designs of the battery. You may have the design for the vehicle itself.
Okay.
You may have patents on the battery tech. You may have patents on the interface tech of the electric vehicle. You may have copyrights for all the user manuals that are there, and you may have trademarks, like there are many trademarks associated with the automobile or electric vehicle product. So this all encompasses the IP in general.
Yeah.
See, we discussed all about IP, which is the next step after the creation is done. Okay, the whole effort why we are having this monopoly with the help of IP laws is we want to monetize it later on.
Yeah.
Okay, so it should not just sit at the kind of takeaway, or I would want a commenting line would be to close this is, don't just ideate and protect. Okay, the efforts nowadays are more required to be driven towards the commercialization of the ideas that you are working on. Okay, you have taken efforts of ideation, you have taken efforts of protecting it with the IP tools that we discussed, but the whole emphasis has to be on commercialization, because your IP strategies are going to be driven by what kind of commercialization goals you are setting for yourself.
Yes.
So it's not just you have taken efforts. For me, innovation is not just about creating something unique. Okay, it's all about protecting it with a strategic implementation plan.
We should take the next step.
Exactly.
Not just leave it after
Gone are the days. Okay, we got independence in
1947.
47, right? Patent Act was enabled in 1970.
Oh.
Okay, so all those years of innovations are not protected. So we already wasted so much of time. Now we know from 1970 the Patent Act exists. Okay, we have to, as the future generation, have to take an effort of वो balance लेके आना होगा ना, वो जो गया है पूरा, and then people, Westerners have just taken it away. अभी वो नहीं होने दे सकते हम लोग. So the onus is in our hands, in the young generation's hands to produce good number of quality patents which are having commercial value.
So what kind of advice you have for the one student who would want to go with this field and they want to study IP, do law? What kind of steps that person should take? So
first thing and very foremost thing is that in IP you can pursue your career if you are from a technology background. Okay. There are no specific technology backgrounds that are required. But then it could be any tech, biotech, electrical, electronics, mechanical, any degree you have which is in the technological domain. Okay. Now, I have trained quite a few people for cracking the patent agent exam. So there is an examination called patent agent examination, which is due in the month of January. Oh. Okay, and the registrations are on. So anybody who is watching this and want to enroll, they can enroll. They can. But I'll tell you the next part of it, which is the continuity part of it, because it's a law driven kind of a subject. The language of the patent law and in the law in general is quite confusing in the beginning. Yeah. If you lose that interest there, then that's a clear indication. I mean, I'm not deviating, but then that's a clear indication that you're not meant for the job, or you're not meant for that career. But it interests you, it intrigues you, then you should definitely get into something. Yeah, definitely. And even if you don't want to pursue any career in this, it's a good advantage, a competitive advantage within you, that you are able to understand patents, you're able to do a search on patents, if you are hired in a R&D team tomorrow, you know what to develop in that company. Okay, with the patents as a knowledge at the back end. So there is techno-legal knowledge that you have through patents. You have your scientific knowledge. Once you combine these two, you are phenomenal out in the world.
Definitely.
And currently there are multiple organizations which would want somebody who is very well versed with science and technology and patents. Their value is like anything in the world.
Someone who is studying right now biosciences or anything related to this, if they got the interest just like you, they can pursue the same thing.
Naturally. I mean, I'm here, so
they
anytime
can see.
anybody needs any help, I'm very much willing to assist.
Sir. It was wonderful, sir, having this whole conversation. I would have loved to continue this.
Definitely. Maybe on some other occasions. So like, share, comment and subscribe and follow Adaptiv Podcast channel. They have brought up very interesting lineup of speakers. You should thoroughly enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
It was wonderful having you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.